Bikers are such soft targets for black mob violence and black on white crime. Maybe it's because when you ride a bike, you're very vulnerable. And maybe because, the profile of bike riders, especially the hardcore bike riders, we're not exactly the rough and ready, rough and tumble fellows that discourage people from committing violence upon them. But anyway, this guy thought he could ride his bike through this neighborhood in Philadelphia at 9 o'clock at night. All of a sudden, like a pack of hyenas, he is surrounded, knocked off his bike, knocked out, robbed. I don't know if they actually took his bike or not, but they left him in pretty bad shape. Lots of laughing, taunting going on as well. Let's head down to New Orleans. I think it's the French Quarter. A fellow is riding a bicycle through the French Quarter. Some fellows would like to have some of the pizza that he's delivering. He declines. Gets pretty nasty after that. In Don't Make the Black Kids Angry and in White Girl Bleed a Lot, we write a lot about black on white crime involving bicycles. Lots of black mob violence on bike trails and other places involving bikes. You know, a lot of the bike trails in this country were formed as part of a program called Rails to Trails. There used to be railroad rights of ways. So some of these rights of ways go through some of the nicest parts of the country you could imagine. But they often end up in some of the worst parts of this country you can imagine. So you get these trails that are 26, 28, 30 some miles long. There's always just a half mile or a mile or 2 miles where if you go through there on a bike, you're asking for more trouble than you imagine you can deal with. So we write a lot about that, thinking of places in Washington as well, Washington, D.C., the Metro Trail. So we do a lot of stuff how people on bicycles are really just victims of an enormous amount of black mob violence and black on white crime. But I also think about the reaction that the bikers, the bike club members have when they become victims of this violence. Out in Seattle, it was the people in the bike clubs were victims of some significant, regular, predictable violence when they rode their bicycles around town, whether on a trail or not. So they would, go to their little newsletter or their little website to talk about it. And it's funny, the club president, and I document this in Don't Make the Black Kids Angry, the club president chimes in and he goes, well, maybe it's our fault because we're not the most inclusive activity. And this was a reaction to some bikers nearly losing their lives to groups of black people who knocked them off their bikes, robbed them, and almost killed them. So I don't know, not quite sure what it is about people who ride bicycles, why they enjoy being such soft targets for this kind of crime. But there you have it. So if you're in Philly, as we were in the first case, or even down in New Orleans, as we were in the second, get a cheesesteak. Philly, try some Creole. I don't know, you might want to leave your bike at home. I don't know. I don't know that either one of those places is necessarily great for riding bikes. But either way, bike or not, try to remember one thing. Don't make the black kids angry.